those problems that I need to take care of have been took care of. And now we're back. I think we can finish Kanto tonight. I think we can do it. I think we can do it in under 3 hours. I think we can do it under 2 hours. I think, though, that it would be cooler if I did it in under 3 hours with a cool endgame Pokemon. Who's going to be my number 4? I have 3 Pokemon that I can rely on. I need a 4th. I have a couple of options. I've doubled up on water. I have some problems with elemental weaknesses, right? And Blue's team is really balanced. That worries me a little bit. So, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go get the Super Rod before anything else. We're gonna get the Super Rod, and we're gonna go see if we can fish up a Dratini. I've tried to see if there's a way that I could fast forward the clock. It doesn't look like there's a good way for me to do that. So, we're just gonna have to roll with it. Anyway, technical difficulties happened. I ended up having a stream delay of over 5 minutes. Had to stop. Had to restart. Took a quick break. Finished all the boring Johto stuff I was gonna do. Nothing exciting happened in Johto. You didn't really miss anything. You just checked up on, well, I decided to leave that video up because it kind of talked about why there were 2 different streams there. I wish there was a way to jam them together into one video using YouTube, but I'd have to actually download them, go into editing, do that probably. Oh well. Ideally, I should be avoiding battles right now, but yeah, Voltorb. I know Electro goes in like Electrode or something like that. I don't know if Voltorb actually ever makes any sounds in the show. You know, even at that level, you probably one-shot me, so I should make sure that I die. I am that weak to electricity. As Andrew Jackson. Remember, in this version of the game, all Pokemon, or all Water-type moves are special, and all Electric moves are special, which means I'd be using Andrew Jackson's special defense. And Andrew Jackson doesn't really have a lot of special defense. He kind of ruined that for himself. Oh, hey, no worries, man. That's fine. I was considering, I just started the stream, though. Mostly, I'll probably just get the rod today. This will just be kind of a short one, then. That's fine. So, we will finish this up. Then, and we'll just finish Kanto tomorrow. No rush there. You know, we handle this later. Either way, when I finish this race, we'll talk tomorrow about what I'll do after this, because this was more of a test than anything else. This is not really meant to be a real push or stream or anything. For that kind of stuff, you can go check out our main channel. You see the little logo there in the corner, Info Arcade, is what it's called. Info Arcade. It is not youtube.com/InfoArcade. Apparently, they took that feature away from people. I got grandfathered in. Mine's Ninjask 1, I think. But, Info Arcade's a much newer channel. We don't have a custom URL for it yet, but we're getting there. We're going to be, hey, starting in March, a couple of weeks, or I guess in a week, we're going to start uploading Let's Plays there, so that's exciting. And, you know, there's giveaways and stuff Jaden wants to do, so stay tuned for that, if you like this content. definitely check us out over there. But for this channel, I'm mostly wanting to do more experimental stuff, more like personal kind of projects. You know what? Why not? Let's talk about it. Well, what am I gonna do after this? Well, I'd like to. Oh, whoops! Gotta catch whatever this is. Oh, sweet! Oh, I was trying to catch one of those earlier in the game, but I didn't have time to. Okay, delicately. How are we gonna catch it delicately? How do we be delicate to a Nidorina? Oh, wow. Oh, no! I got rid of all of its offense moves. Except fly. Well, I can just try to hope that I catch it, I guess. The only other option is Furret, and Furret's way underleveled for this. Capture! Alright! Alright! Nidorina's data was newly added to the Pokedex. It has a docile nature. If it is threatened with an attack, it raises its barbs that are all over its body. We will give it a nickname. What will we nickname it? The theme so far has been 19th century presidents. However, I've been slowly running out of 19th century presidents as we play through this. So I've kept political figures along a certain theme. Nidorina is always female, so I guess I could do a first lady if we wanted to. But then that would imply, that would kind of, if we ever caught Nidorino, that would define what Nidorino would be. I know there's some presidents that I've missed. William McKinley was last one from that period. Grover Cleveland. I don't think I've done Benjamin Harrison. Let me read his bio here real quick. Lawyer, grandson, 9th, grandfather, duo, prominent local Presbyterian church leader, Republican incumbent. Okay. Has incredibly... Okay. Anyway. I thought I fixed it. Let's see. Actually, I have to do it like this. Could I have just named Nidorina after Mr. Benjamin Harrison? Yes, but this makes it easier if I ever catch a Nidorino in the future. Carol Scott, First Lady of Mr. President Benjamin Harrison, the 23rd President of the United States. Served from born in 1833, 1901. His term of office lasted from 1889 to 1893. That's a 4-year term. Let's see. What are some cool facts about Mr. President here? Mr. President, dude. Let's see. He is the great-grandson of Benjamin Harrison the Fifth, a founding father. He's also the grandson of William Henry Harrison, who was the 9th President of the United States, making him the only actual presidential dynasty to ever exist. Not for lack of trying, mind you. There have been other families who've done it, made that attempt. Kennedys have done it. Bushes kind of, sort of did it, although that's, that was kind of vertical instead of horizontal. So I don't think it really counts. That grass up there has chances in it, which I could totally try to go catch. But I'm not going to. I can't avoid that guy. Wait, yes I can. Ah! I've done it! I've managed to avoid most of the trainers on this route so far. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, Kennedy's, Bush's, we saw Jeb Bush push for presidency this last year. Clinton's with Hillary Clinton. Although that's not really a dynasty, is it? If it's husband and wife. Oh, sorry. It's a little late for me. I'm trying to do that thing where you sleep, or where you don't sleep, to try to reset your clock. I just really wanted to play Pokemon. Anyway, we'll keep this run short, like I said. Mostly I'm just gonna go try to grab the Super Rod, and we're gonna catch a special Pokemon! I mean, it's not particularly that special. Don't get too high hoped, but it's special to me. And it'll be something that'll be real cool if I can actually manage to make it work for me. Anyway. So he is from Indiana. Benjamin Harrison served in the American Civil War as a colonel. Confirmed by the U.S. Senate as a brevet brigadier general of volunteers in 1865. Unsuccessfully ran for governor of Indiana. However, the Indiana General Assembly elected him to a 6-year term in the U.S. Senate. Blah, 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 blah. We don't really care much about that. Oh, okay, here we go. Elected to his presidency in 1888, defeating Grover Cleveland, who was the incumbent. Hallmarks of Harrison's administration includes unprecedented economic legislation, including the McKinley Tariff, which imposed historic protective trade rates, and the Sherman Antitrust Act. Oh, I didn't know that was done under Harrison. Maybe my history's wrong then. Antitrust Act being Sherman Antitrust Act. This being like one of the biggest pieces of legislation during the era of trust busting. And it ended, I believe that is the bill that broke up, oh god, what's his name? The oil tycoon guy. James Rockefeller. I believe that's the one that broke up James Rockefeller's empire. Who, adjusted for inflation, is the wealthiest person to ever live, that we know of. Let's see. This also facilitated the creation of the National Forest Reserves. Okay. I could have sworn aren't these attributed to FDR? Aren't these things? Like, I learned that FDR was the one who, or the other Roosevelt, one of the Roosevelts, oh yeah, I guess Roosevelt was also a dynasty. I should have mentioned that earlier. It wasn't one of the Roosevelts, the one who started national parks? I guess this isn't national parks. National Forest Reserve, that's something different, isn't it? That would make sense, I guess. Not that I would actually know what the difference is. He also admitted 6 states to the Union. It's like Gold Rush states. Oh my god, they're all going to be like level 20-something Pikachus, aren't they? Let's see. It doesn't say here in the brief summary which states he admitted, but I'm sure that could be something we could look up if you guys are interested. Proposal to secure federal education funding as well as voting rights. Enforcement for African... okay, so he wanted to secure federal education funding and voting right enforcement for African Americans, but he was unsuccessful in that, due to the, you know, product of the time type of thing. Very progressive of him, though. That's great. Due in large part to surplus revenues from the tariffs, federal spending reached $1 billion for the first time during his term. The spending revenue, in part, led to the defeat of the Republicans in the 1890 midterm elections. Cleveland defeated Harrison for re-election in 1892 due to the growing unpopularity of the high tariff and high federal spending. So I guess tariffs became unpopular despite the amount of money it brought in. That's fair. Tariffs seem to be like a really flip-flop issue. People want them when they're gone, and people want to get rid of them when they're there. Through history, there's a lot of argument on tariffs. There's a lot of back and forth on that. There's like people, we need tariffs to protect our industry, and then, no, the tariffs are hurting our industry. It's very back and forth, and I'm not sure what side of the issue is the one I would have fallen on if I was arguing for the time. These history articles always make it seem kind of one-sided. I doubt it was that straightforward. Like, look at this, $1 billion because he had a surplus revenue from tariffs. That means there was a lot of importing still going on despite the tariffs. And the government got a lot of money out of the deal. Anyway, federal spending, blah, blah, blah. Harrison represented the Republic of Venezuela. Okay. Cleveland defeated Harrison for re-election. Okay, okay. So when you put in the tariffs, I guess it was popular, but after his 4-year presidency, it became unpopular, and that caused him to lose the presidency. Tariffs seem like a really dangerous tool for election. Something to remember if you ever decide to become president. Aha! Much different Pokemon when you're using rods. Oh my god. Rods! Where was I? Da-da-da-da. Lost his presidency. Oh, due to the high spending. Maybe that's a good idea if you should probably be like Andrew Jackson. Try to be the president who is known for getting rid of the federal budget with your tariffs. Don't be the one who spends the most money. That's usually a bad idea. Actually, I don't know how it would fly today, because presidential spending is kind of at an unprecedented level today, isn't it? I don't know. It seems to go up with every year. And yeah, sure, some of that can be counted for inflation, but I'm not trying to start an argument or anything. I'm just wondering out loud about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it hasn't actually increased that much. Still. Let's see, he died at home in Indianapolis in 1901 from influenza. So, from the flu. Many have praised his commitment to African American voting rights. Scholars and historians generally regard his administration as below average. Really? But it looks like there was a lot of stuff that went on in his presidency that was really positive. 6 states were admitted to the Union. I mean, a lot happened during his presidency. Is he not well liked for that stuff? Oh, maybe he's not attributed to it. Like the Forest Acts and all that, and the trust busting. Sherman Trust Busting Act? No? Okay. Well, whatever. Look, I'm not an expert on history. That's kind of why I decided to name the Pokemon the way I did. I was doing it to learn about them. But, yeah, I'm definitely learning. Answering, I got a bunch of questions now. That'll drive me forward, and hopefully it drives you guys forward, too. To seek your own answers. Magikarps. Here we are. Dragon's Den. Okay. So that's it for Mr. Benjamin Harrison. First, we take the repel. We spray the repel. Then we get lucky. Pack over to key items all the way down to Super Rod. Actually, let's move that up to the top. We don't really need that. Okay. And then we fish. The most exciting part of any Pokemon game. Fishing. Wonder if the rival's down here today. We could try to battle him, if he is. Dratini? 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 Yes! Alright! Dratini! This will probably be the climax of the episode. This is really short, though. It's half an hour. Wow. Okay. We don't want to KO it, but it's pretty high level. They aren't really known for having a lot of defense, so we want to be really soft with it. Like softer than usual. Like if Andrew Jackson still had Dragon Rage, I'd be using that right now. It's Stab Dragon move. Okay, it's asleep. Good. Groveland should be able to take at least a hit. So even if it wakes up, we should be okay. This should be fine. Yeah, this is fine. In fact, let's throw a ball at it now. Nope. It's still asleep, though. We can try again. Come on. Yes! We got a Dratini! Dratini's data was newly added to the Pokedex. It sheds many layers of skin as it grows larger. During this process, it is protected by a rapid waterfall. Yes, let's nickname Dratini. Who is the most dragon-like president? legendary presidents. Somebody soft and friendly. FDR is pretty well liked, so let's do FDR. Yeah, there's not a way where I can really make this clever. Alright, cool. We have a Dratini now! And it'll probably evolve to a Dragonair very quickly. It starts at level 40 here, so... looks good for me! Why isn't the Pokemon able to catch with a fishing rod or higher level than the Pokemon I can catch in the wild, or the trainers I can fight? It seems kind of backwards, doesn't it? Anyway. Okay. And then finally, it's actually not that important if Grover Cleveland gets high leveled. What is important is that FDR gets high level. There we go. So I have my top 4 now. Okay, let's heal up. And that's a good place to stop for now. I don't think I need to tell you who FDR is, but we can read through the article. Why not? Technically, well, more than technically, it's 30 years past. He's definitely outside of the 19th century presidents thing that I was going to say. But he's well liked enough. I have my own issues with him. But he has created he basically shaped the United States government into its modern form. He built the New Deal. He had 2 New Deals. And took the U.S. through the World War II, which is when, again, World War II shaped U.S. into what it is today. So it's, I can see here, just based off of the short description, it's quite a bit longer than most of the other presidents that we've looked at. He went through 4 terms. This also led to the writing, I believe, of the 25th Amendment, which is why we can only have 2-term presidents nowadays. Before that, it was mostly a formality, and very few people had managed to do it successfully. So let's see what we got. Twister, Dragon Rage, Slam, and Agility. That's okay. But it's difficult to talk about FDR, I think, in short, because he's changed so much. It's a very complicated time for the presidency. Now, we can't all put it on FDR specifically. I think the New Deal largely comes from him. But, yeah, he brought the U.S. into the modern age in a almost literal way, so I think that's why it's fitting, even if I'm not his biggest fan. Anyway, that'll about wrap it up for tonight. I'm going to go to bed. We will pick this up tomorrow, and we'll talk about what we'll do next time on Part 12, which I'm feeling a finale. Are you? Good night.